Hi everybody, welcome to today's event. Business Management What Comes Next alumni panel. This has been organised by the Alumni Relations team, the Westminster Enterprise Network team, and also Secretary. My name is Nick Stone. I'm the Director of Employability for the School of Management Marketing and Experiences, and I am also a senior lecturer here as well. I'm joined by a panel of recent graduates from business management courses who will share insights and career options after graduating. The panel will briefly introduce themselves, then I'll put some questions to them, and you will also have the opportunity to ask questions too. This will be followed by a short networking session, which I encourage you to do. If you've got LinkedIn, you should all have LinkedIn. Then I would advise you to connect with as many as possible. And then you can speak to more within the line as well. Okay, so if you've probably noticed, we have a camera, so we're recording this session. So if you use the phrase to be here, which would be fantastic, and also to be asking questions, so we can show this later on. There will be around 30 minutes as well at the end for Q&A. So I do believe we will have a QR code as well that you can scan and put your questions in there and have a look on the computer when it's in the time as well. I think we're also doing the old-fashioned raising of hands of questions as well. The recording will be shared with all of you after the event. Okay, so we have 4 alumni, 3 right now. We do have one on their way. The trains have been a nightmare today, so that's caused a few issues. So our 3 students here are alumni, and not so long ago they were sat where you were sitting. I'm now going to ask each of them to introduce themselves, and also have some of their career fields as well. So, as you are the closest to Aram, could you introduce yourself first, please? Microphone's here.
Hello everyone, my name is Aram. Is it working?
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. So, I'm the founder of Happy Student. It's an app created to support students when they move to a new place to study.
Hi everyone, I'm Nova. I graduated in 2024. I've been working in marketing as a marketing coordinator in the music industry for the past year.
Hey guys, my name is Raghav. I'm a class of 2025 University Business student and I study marketing. And currently I'm a full-time assistant to the network team. And also I have my own startup called Disconnect, which I do on the side. Thank you.
Guys, can you just actually start with the we'll work our way back as well. Can you tell us when and what you studied with us, a little bit about your career so far, in addition to what you were talking about?
Absolutely. So I studied business marketing for 3 years. Initially, I really wanted to shift to the course which you are currently on, but I just continued with what I had, and my whole university business journey was, in a nutshell, was a crazy experience because I went on to do several things while I was a student in university. I was very active with the network and also several other opportunities which I was taking on, like the Business Employability Award and Blue Risk University, everything. And now I am a full-time leading network team to help and support their finance, services, and operations of the events which we do for university business students. Also building a startup on the side, which is basically like a GP for influence marketing managers. And in order to build that startup, I'm working with an incubator. I'll talk more about the incubator in a bit, but these 2 are my primary focus right now. I got my first job right after I graduated, pretty much. So I got my first job, it was actually a global team internship by Think Pacific, right after I graduated University of Westminster in July. And then after a 1-month break, I started working full-time for the network team. Both of those experiences were very, very important, and I got to them because of University of Westminster. So that was a very good experience.
Thanks, Robert. Diana's just to join us. Hi, Diana, how are you? That's okay, no worries. Could you just, your name, what you currently do, and just kind of when you studied with us and what you studied as well?
So hi guys, I'm Diana. I studied business management at
here. Basically graduated summer 2025. Currently doing projects in program at Transport for London. Please don't bring any hate towards me, I don't know that much of it. But yeah.
Fantastic, thank you, Joe. No, thank you. Graduate.
Hello. So I did 4 years at university. Well, technically I did 5 because my first year I dropped out because I decided I didn't want to do fashion anymore and I was more interested in business. And the reason I did 4 is because I chose to do a year abroad, which we can touch on later if it's something that interests you guys, but it basically kickstarted my interest in the music industry. I did a year abroad in Toronto at the University of Westminster, and I was studying at Ryerson University, which is like a creative arts university, and they have a great business program as well. And that's kind of how I got kickstarted in working in the creative industries. So when I came back from Toronto, I decided to focus my dissertation on marketing. I actually studied business management, just the regular version of the degree. So because I did my specialization in music marketing for my dissertation, that really helped me to then be knowledgeable about what I wanted to get into after graduation. I've been working with a global brand in their retail marketing department for the last year. I'm a marketing coordinator, so I do a lot of administrative tasks. It's not necessarily where I'd say my dream role is. I want to be doing something more artist-facing, but it has been really good to be in a global marketing department and get my feet wet with all the different functions of what a global team looks like.
I started Happy Student while I was a student here. At the beginning it was just a research paper actually to find out if other students were having the same problem with adaptation into their new environment. And but then eventually there was this competition called The Big Idea. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. Are you?
I am.
Yeah. So we applied for it, and then we won the first prize and then the Viral Idea Prize. With that funding, we created an MVP, and then eventually things took off from there. Right now we have our app that's ready, it's on the stores, and we are active at over 100 universities in the UK, and we are expanding into the US market. So I don't know what else to say.
That's okay. Well, don't worry, I've got plenty of questions I've got for you anyway.
Yeah.
So thanks. If you just keep up the microphone a minute, perfect. So I'm going to throw quite a few questions at you all. I'll just go through you all and use them. So I can repeat the questions if it goes out of the head by the time it gets to you. So I'll just work on down the road basically. So we'll start with you if you don't mind. So you're next to me and we'll go down in that order. So would you say this is at the moment your new role? And do you think this is like, if not, where do you aim to be and how do you think you're going to accomplish with that? So are you enjoying what you do? Is this where you want to be? Or do you feel it's your business idea, whatever you're doing, could be a stepping stone to something else? Or how do you see it? Basically, how are you where you want to be right now, effectively?
I mean, yes, it's been a very long journey, let's put it that way. I'm not getting into details because it's been really hard to come to where we are today. And right now we are being sought after by many universities, both here and in the States, and it does feel like we had been working towards this, which is today. And but the problem, I guess, when you grow, you need more investment, more team, hire bigger teams. So that's the stress at the moment we have.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like, yeah, this is what we had been working for all these years, and that's coming too. You know, it's just it's just some conversations are going on at the moment, and I don't know, just like we weren't expecting to come to be at this stage this soon. But at the same time, we had been working to be here. I've been very happy, I would say. I had done everything myself at the beginning, and now we have a really great team to work. It's been a year that we had. I would say we work with so many different teams, many different talents, from development to digital marketing to experiential marketing. And design team. Right now we also have sales team. We keep growing, and but I will do everything myself. And I remember I really enjoyed it. It was very tiring, but I just wanted to do more. And I was so angry that Saturday and Sundays no one would work because I would work, and so the US feels like it feels like they kind of we click with the people there because they too work.
That work ethic.
Yes, I mean, so in a way I enjoyed it when I realized that I want to work on this all the time, even when I'm on a vacation.
And I think that's the thing, isn't it? When you have your own business, it is literally 365 days a year, 24/7. You have a line business as well. You never switch. You never switch off. And you can't switch off as well.
No, you can't. No, I mean, first of all, Happy Student is very impact driven, and we receive so many emails from students telling us how great this tool is and how helpful it is, and that's really when we see those emails or feedback from our users, we feel happy. At the end of the day, what we want to do here is to make students feel better about themselves and be more engaged with their friends, with their campus, schools, university. And I think we created Happy Student pre-AI. So there was no ChatGPT then. But even now what we are doing is that we don't want essential resources that are very essential to every person, especially when you're 18, 17 and you're outside of your comfort zone for the first time. We don't want these kind of resources to be an endless research work. We want to make them accessible to you and just make it so much easier for you to adapt to, all these kind of new things that you don't know anything about. I mean, that could be from half transportation to your daily lives, like how do you do laundries, for instance. Which is fun, I know, but...
No, but this is true when you're first away from home as well. It's quite daunting.
How do you how to do dishes?
Yeah, of course. That's how to cook. Yeah, no, there's plenty out there. That's amazing, thank
I'm
you.
happy.
No, that's amazing. That's what it sounds amazing. I'm going to get lots more questions to you, by the way, as well. Nova, would you like me to recap what I said, or are you okay?
Am I currently in my dream role? And if I'm not, how is my role?
Yeah, perfect.
So I think I touched on this a bit earlier. Sorry, Paul, if you're watching, Paul is my boss. This is not my dream role. He's a lovely man, so I think he knows that it's not my dream role. This was kind of a stepping stone for me, so if I give you guys a bit of context. I work in a musical instruments brand, so we are very popularly known globally as one of the best guitar brands in the world, which is an exciting space to be in, which means we work with a lot of artists on marketing campaigns. I'm not doing any artist marketing, which is when you market an album or a project or a single, and that's where I always wanted to be. Last year I did this panel talk, and that's where I said I wanted to be. But that's a very competitive space to be in. I don't know if any of you are interested in music marketing, but for about 8 of the internships that Sony put out every year, there's like 5,000 applications. So it's really competitive. It's almost as competitive as say a graduate role in Google. So I knew that I had to get my feet wet before I could apply for my dream role, and that's why I chose something like dream role adjacent. And it's been really exciting because as much as you come out of university and you think you understand the basic concepts of marketing or business, it's very different to apply them in a corporate environment. 50% of the game is managing other people's expectations of you, of understanding office politics, of how to get projects across the line. When there's people who have maybe different agendas to you in different teams, how to use limited resources to make biggest impact you can. So these things you kind of have to learn on the job. I'm almost glad that I didn't get my dream job out of uni because I don't think I would have been ready. And the advice I would give is that don't go for your dream role straight out of uni. Go somewhere that you know will be forgiving and that you will be able to learn a lot. Because you might think you want to be in one spot in a team, but there's actually a lot of nuance to the role, especially in marketing. Like digital marketing, you can be in performance or you can be, in social, and you're not going to know the nuances of those roles until you get into a corporate environment. So, I completely went on a tangent, but I would say go somewhere where you're going to get to try lots of different types of things.
I think what you're saying is so true as well. I think if you just focus on a dream job and this is what I want to do, you're reducing your window of opportunity for getting into an industry in any form. And as you say, you will make. I don't see them as mistakes. You make learning lessons, and it's whether you learn from those things, isn't it? And it will teach you probably what you do and don't want to do, which is really important, and how you can apply those skills. And it's amazing. Thanks.
For sure.
Should I just go for it?
You go for it.
Of course. So to answer the question, is this the role my dream role? I would say it's part of my dream role because I always wanted to work full time for University of Westminster. I feel like V-Network, I was part of V-Network for 4 semesters straight. I was doing the Finance Essential program first and then the Startup 101 program and then also the Big Idea competition. So AI startups which are very, very hard to build, and as a non-technical person I have to find a very big team, I have to make sure that everybody gets equal amount of equity and all that stuff, so that's very, very technical. But right after university, my first ever full-time job was actually an internship which I did in Thailand, China, and that was also a part of the global experience which was sponsored by the University of Westminster. And I would say that was like a stepping stone into the current role which I have. And all these roles which I currently got immediately after university was thanks to my proactiveness while I was in university. So it's very, very important for anyone to realize that if you're a student in the UK, any university, whether you go to Cambridge, Oxford, LSE, or University of Westminster, you have to be active. Whether you are doing something inside the classroom or outside the classroom, you have to make sure that you are making those connections, you're making those extra advanced movements which other students are not making in order to land a dream job or like a stepping stone job or start your own business after university. And it's very, very important to know where you are going in the future because no one's really controlling the future except yourself. So when I graduated university, even I was confused for some time, even though I was preparing myself since day one that one day I'm going to have to leave the university and graduate and then go from work full time. So it's extremely important that I focused more on my own career and where did I want to be in the future. Currently, as an assistant to the V-Network team, even though I'm doing most of the jobs which are just assisting the University of Westminster V-Network team, which is a very small team, which is like 5 to 6 people. Most of my role is assisting them with logistics, operations, emails, appointments, but also because of proactiveness, sometimes I'll do like email marketing and send emails out. If anyone's subscribed to University of Westminster email or V-Network, you might have heard an email which I will design. So those are the proactive things which I do while I'm currently in my role as well. And they actually push me to my next stepping stone or my next job because my managers, they also realize that, okay, he actually is taking initiative in order to help us, in order to make sure that our team is moving more efficiently and more faster. And that's very important. I think that's my suggestion to anyone who wants to land their dream role or anything after university ends.
Perfect, thank you. Diana?
I would say there's no such thing. Well, personally, I would say there's no such thing as a dream role. I had a dream role before, started it, did it like it, and then the whole route, so we route version was like, now what? So I I did a placement year in my 4 years of study, like 3 years of studies, between my second year and final year, and that gave me an idea. It gave me what I liked and disliked, and I think that's what it is when you have to kind of have an understanding of what you like and dislike. I worked in a corporate environment. I would say there was things that I personally wouldn't do for the rest of my life. There was things that I enjoyed, but I wouldn't learn further. So this kind of just captured more like a reflection, I would say, just because when it came to coming to final year, I had to try, I knew what I wanted to look into when applying for roles. I knew what I wanted to focus on more as well, and what skills and what works well. And that was kind of where I kind of broke down what I want to do actually for the next few years, and then when like years go down, like experiences build, skills build, I can work on to the role that I want to get to. In my future, I would say I would love to set up a business, but that's like a future goal for me to get to that. I know that there's things that I personally, as a personal and professional, need to work on. So I would basically say, there's no such thing as a dream role. Don't worry if you actually come out of uni and you're like panicking on what you want to do. You just need to build the skill, build so many experiences. You're in your 20s, I believe so. So basically, just have fun, enjoy life. That's how my motto is. But also build skills, build experiences to just try out things, because then you will realise what your dream role or what you enjoy mainly is. So that kind of basically helped me figure out, okay, I want to do projects and program. This is a graduate scheme, so basically I will learn within the next 2 years what I want to do, and then from there I can see what a second stone is. And I kind of, being organised, pre-plan my next 5 years, but it can fall out, it cannot, so yeah.
I think, just so I want that as well, so do you think you would recommend the placement year for yourself and your own experience? Do you think that was worthwhile doing that?
I would personally recommend it, especially if you're in your second year, just because when you hit your final year, you have dissertation, you're on hold of like trying to figure out things. Doing a placement year, yes, it is an extra year out, and you might not graduate with your friends, but at the same time, you're going to learn experiences, you're going to learn skills, you're going to learn like a mentality with a different vibe to what you see other people. So when you go into like finding a grad role, they will ask you what experiences do you have, and then you're going to have to sit down and start explaining. When you have an experience, for example, doing an internship or doing a placement year, you can start talking about a meeting with stakeholders or a meeting with clients. I built up this skill. Like there's so many skills you can talk about and experiences. Like you don't have to just be touched with one thing, like presentations at uni. Like you can build that to anything else.
And do you think that gives you a slight edge when you're looking for internships, etc., because you already got that kind of experience on your CV?
Sorry.
Did you think that gave you an edge when you're looking at doing an internship? They kind of give you a little edge from that placement year?
Yeah, I would say it gave me a more open-minded, especially coming to the final year. I was like, okay, like I said before, like I knew what I liked and disliked after doing that whole year. There are going to be ups and downs in placement years. They're not going to be a really smooth thing, I'm going to be honest. But it's where you learn. And if you want to get a job after uni, and you want to go out there and build experiences, I would recommend it, just because you have that mindset that you've done a year, you know what you like and dislike, and you want to put that into your future career, basically.
Amazing. Actually, no, can I just build on that point? Because I know you had a different path, didn't you? And I think it's good for you to share that as well.
Oh man. The year that I did in Toronto was life-changing, and I'm not somebody who will say things like that. I'm not like a sensationalist. If you have the opportunity and the means and the privilege to do so, please do a year abroad or a placement year. Because if for nothing else, jumping into the deep end and having to be independent and live alone and figure out how to file taxes and how to rent a place and how to make friends when you have no family and friends somewhere is basically just like a surefire way of building your self-confidence, of understanding adulthood. Because as nice as university is, life has not been a breeze since I graduated and had to be an adult. And I feel that if I hadn't have had that experience of having to be an adult at university, I would not have the maturity to jump straight into work. Just for that. And the other thing I would say is I was really lucky that I'm a risk taker. So while I was there, I would just talk to random people, and that got me a job at a really prestigious art gallery organising events. So I made a lot of contacts there. My long-term partner actually lives there with our cat now. So I basically built a whole life for myself out there. So you never know what can happen. In Toronto, yeah. You never know what can happen. I organise events for these big artists I never thought I'd work with. Basically no experience under my belt. Pretty much just an English accent and a dream. And it was incredible, and I would really, really recommend it. And I'm not saying you have to go to Canada. The University of Hawaii, is it still an option, certainly? Yeah. So I've heard really good things. You go to the US, places that you might not be able to go to without a student loan. Really think about it. I wish I could go back and do the year again because it was so fun and I learned so much. But yeah, I would really recommend it.
That's
Really
amazing.
good.
That's amazing. Well, I'm gonna. Did you? So I suppose when you were thinking about setting up your business, did you start that thought process and start doing any development of that while you were here at the university?
Yes. It's funny because you forget your first steps eventually, but those steps are very important. Yes, the whole idea started pretty much where you're sitting right now. And so then I went to WeNet with them. And Paul, you guys know Paul. So he had been my mentor and one of our biggest ally, really. So as Sutton and I and many other people at the university. So people have been very helpful from the moment we set foot on this journey.
Yeah.
And what is really nice is that we kept in touch with all of those people. We are in touch with them. We meet for coffees, or sometimes they would just invite me for some events. And I would always make time, and they had done the same for me. So. And yes, and the latest one was the Elevate.
Yeah.
And we were part of Elevate, where I believe that in the UK it's one of the best incubator. First of all, they just give you funds, they give you the mentorship. The funds is very crucial for any startup. Even every penny counts, right? So with that, we were able to build our newly designed website, which you can see now. It's very cool. So then, it's not just about the funds, it also brings you really great credibility in the eyes of places as an entrepreneur or a startup that you would like to apply, such as Techstars, Y Combinator, maybe some other bigger incubator places. It's very important for them to have that kind of experience.
Yeah, of course.
We applied to Y Combinator. Fingers are crossed at the moment, so it's a really big Palo Alto thing, as you know. So like I said, we forget the first steps, and there are many other first steps that we had to take to come where we are today. And but these are the ones that I can remember. We Network, Elevate, and my professors.
Yeah.
All of them.
And you mentioned the big idea as well.
And the big idea.
And did that kind of inspire you a little bit to go, actually I could get support here if I have an idea, and how was that communicated to you basically? Did you find out about it yourself, or did you just say, well that looks great, that's the kind of thing that can help me basically?
Yeah, I mean, I had this, so we were trying to build this platform, and it was not easy because we had done our research. We realized that we didn't have any proof of concept then. Not right now, there are many different platforms out there that are very, again, it's student onboarding platforms, both in the US and in the UK. Very functional, but I do think that we are better with our design and with the things that we cover. We cover a lot more. So then when I first came up with Happy Student idea, there was nothing for me to show as a proof of concept to get support from family, friends, or maybe from my own university. It's really hard when you don't have something that exists on the market and you come up with this idea, and then eventually you do have many doubts whether if it's just you. So then we had to run this research with the university program I applied for. We were accepted. Then it was called Students as Co-Creators.
Right.
And we were given, again, some funds, professor and a PhD student and 2 students. So we had to do this very thorough research for a whole year. And we realized that not only myself and not only international students, but also home students were having the same issues that we were having. And so then we wanted to build this platform because there was nothing out there to have everything in one place where students just can find everything that they would need all in one place. And so the Students as Co-Creators was the first step, and the big idea competition was, we thought that would give us enough funding and credibility to go to the next stage, and it that's what it did for us. We had great mentors there, and I would listen to them very carefully, and I would take their feedback, and I would just work on them and get the job done. And I believe that the competitions are never just about how best you say, if it's a pitching competition. It's not just about how well you pitch in the final day, but how well you engage with the entire match. This is my experience, and this is my opinion. I don't know if that's the fact, but that's what I feel like. So we were very engaging from day one until the final day, and even then I had doubt that we would make it, but if not, I thought we are going to apply again next year. But you made it, so then we kind of
Awesome.
You were fine. So the big idea competition really did take us to the next stage of our endeavor. And yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. So I think if you were thinking about anything like that big idea as well, there's a lot of initiatives. There's Ignite Fund and all sorts of others as well. So if you are entrepreneurial or thinking of starting a new business, obviously there's plenty of opportunities here as well to do that.
Indeed. Yes, there are many. Just take
them while you're here.
Take them while you're here.
Exactly.
It's really, this university is very supportive. They have been very supportive to me, so it's going to be too. And they have new buildings.
And the next door, so 29 as well.
And the whole building is a incubator center, right?
Exactly, yeah.
My God.
It's going to be exciting times.
I hope there will be small space there. Sometimes to go and do some research, but anyway.
Thank you. Can you pass the mic to Nova if that's okay? Thank you, Aaron. Nova, I'm going to move on to a different kind of subject around learning skills and actually the skills that you're learning, do you get any support from the companies that you work at, or do you do additional kind of training or anything like that as well?
I would say that when you do get to the interview stage, remember that you are the prize. Like, you were the student that went to university and worked your butt off. You're intelligent and you deserve to work somewhere that wants to invest in you. So vet the employer as much as they are vetting you. Don't go for the job. I know that you hear a lot of stuff on social media. The market's tough. Go for any job you get. But it's not worth burning yourself out, and it's not worth wasting your time. You know. When I was applying for jobs, I went for the first sort of big opportunity that I thought fit, and within about a year, which is the 1 year mark for me now, I realised that the role where I am at the company probably doesn't have a lot of opportunities for growth, and therefore there's not a lot of training and skill building that's going to be going on for me, which is why I'm moving on. But yeah, I wish that a year ago I had been more stern and set more boundaries during my interviews with these employers and made sure that they knew that I know my own value, because they will treat you the way that you treat yourself, especially in the interview process. If you come across as like, I'm willing to do anything for this job, they will make sure that you do everything for that job. So yeah, that's like my advice.
Yeah.
On the side, I am like really passionate about music, which means that I volunteer at a bunch of different organisations. I come out and do panel talks sometimes, and I build my skills in networking events and on LinkedIn Learning. Coursera is incredible. If you can afford it, I would recommend that you go and take a course. Like I started the publicity course on Coursera. There's also really good digital marketing courses that are led by Google. If you have that on your resume, you're going to stand out next to the 10,000 other people who also got good grades at university. So like, I really recommend Coursera. I think upskilling, if you have the time, while you have the time, is good. Because right now I have no time. So yeah,
Well, just to build on that a little bit, so what do you say is probably your most valuable skill or habit that you've developed while in your career so far?
This is going to be so controversial.
Go for it.
Learn how to talk to people, and not just people who are like you, but talk to any type of person. Learn the language that it takes to speak to someone 4 levels above you at a company. Learn how to have small talk. And it sounds like the easiest thing in the world, but if you're introverted or if you're shy, like I was, then you miss out on opportunities. If you can't talk to the CEO about the football game that happened last week, you're probably never going to get to chat to him, and he probably won't see you. Because the thing is, like at a corporation, you want to be seen, especially as a junior person, and that's how you get opportunities, and that's how you get noticed and you get to grow. So learning how to talk to anyone, not only is it going to expand your network, which is your network, LinkedIn, people use your LinkedIn's, but you also get to speak to people who will have advice for you that you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. You know, having a 5-minute conversation with someone whose net worth is, like 6-7 figures in the company is going to be really valuable for you if you know how to hold a conversation with them and how to keep them interested for 5 minutes. So that's definitely a skill. Is there public speaking courses here? There is, isn't there?
I think there are some workshops.
We've got some things on, yeah. I think it's, I said a lot of we do put a lot of events on workshops that actually students can get involved in, additionally to a lot of things that go into the courses as well.
Yeah, I really recommend that. And also, like when you're like presenting as a group, don't shy away. I mean, if you're ambitious, some of you like maybe don't want to go into the corporate world, that's fine. But if you're ambitious, you need to know how to present to people. So if you get the opportunity to present, take it seriously. Take it like it's like part of your job. Because that's somewhere where I shone in my current job. I really knew how to present because we did a lot of presentations. And it's something that consistently came up in my performance reviews as like excelled. And that's something that pushed them forward to.
I mean, it's important as well, isn't it, for the business you're working in, because that's how we develop more business as well. So it's really important for the business, because if you network successfully, it helps grow their business, which helps your career as well, and also can lead on to other opportunities,
Exactly.
which is the key thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Magath, obviously I know that you did a lot of extracurricular activity outside of with the university and outside of it as well. So could you just build on what Nova's just been talking about, how that's really helped you in your career, just kind of getting to the university, all some of the things that you did as well, to kind of build that experience up and that networking?
Absolutely. So I think guys, this is the part where you guys start taking notes, because note takers are winners. I want to mention a lot of the resources which you go to investments to provide students for free, and I really hope you guys make the most of it while you're here, because I'm very serious about this, and don't miss out on all these opportunities which are available to you for free. So first of all, there is Business Working Cultures, which I took part 3 times. I went to Dubai, I went to Birmingham, and I went to Cambridge. And all these places I met professionals who graduated from University of Westminster several years ago, and they're working in their very high level professional leagues, and they're doing very well in their lives. I met someone from PwC, from Emirates, from Spotify, while I was on my trip to Dubai from Business Working Cultures. Next is the Ignite Fund, which I think Nick mentioned and also Aaron mentioned as well. The Ignite Fund and the WebP network, which I'm very proud of. Please take those opportunities, because that's free funding, free money for you to build your skills, to invest our skills into, like Nova said, Coursera, which is excellent. So take it out of Coursera, take it out of Skillshare, which is excellent. LinkedIn Learning, which is very, very good, which is free for all the students right now. And also there's a website called masterclass.com, which I'm currently doing, and it has lessons from all the greatest entrepreneurs on this planet right now, including Mark Cuban, Richard Branson, Lewis Hamilton, if anyone watches F1, I don't know. But yeah, I've been taking all these courses as well. And speaking of taking all these courses and developing your skills while you're in the university or in your current job, it is very, very important that you never stop learning. Always remain curious, always continue to learn, continue to grow. The day you stop learning is the day you start dying. That's what I live by. And honestly, it is never enough. You can always learn something new, you can always pick up a new skill, you can always do something new after university as well. It doesn't have to be over ever. And also, the University of Westminster provides one-off mentoring and also mentoring for 6 months, 3 months straight, and I have 3 of those mentors as well. So there's no chance I would have been unemployed after university, because I had so much going on while I was in the university. So if you're a working professional right when you're in the university, you will just fit right in smoothly into the real world after you graduate. And that's the aim you should all be aiming for, because you have to make sure that your journey of transitioning, which is coming soon for everyone, you have to graduate, you have to get out of here and move out of your comfort zone. So it has to be smooth, right? So you have to make sure that you're making most of all these university opportunities. And also, Westminster Employability Board, please do the platinum level. I did that in my 2nd year, and I think that gave me access to a CEO of Business Alien, which is a great corporation which is in London, and I overshadowed a CEO of a company for 8 hours straight. And let me tell you, that experience in one day was better than 3 years of studying in the classrooms, because it gives you more skills, it teaches you you can ask actual questions which you're always confused about, like, what is the stock market? Okay, who are the board of directors in the company? I didn't know all these questions, because the university don't really teach us all this, it's more theoretical, but when you're in a practical setting, you can actually ask questions which you don't have to be embarrassed about asking questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question, because you'll always be stupid about something, because there's so much to learn. So always be curious and make most of all these opportunities which you have. And also, like Noah said, make sure the company invests in you wherever you're working. So University of Westminster invests a lot in their employees as well. I'm currently doing all these courses and skills which are all provided by University of Westminster, even though I'm working as an employee full time. So they invest in you in order to make sure that you upskill and you provide better value to the university back on the or any company on the back end. And right now, obviously, AI is a hot topic. There's a whole outside ChatGPT, guys. Please stop using ChatGPT and there's a whole list of AI tools which I currently use, and make sure that your work relies more and more on AI, because it's going to make you faster, it's going to make you better. There's an AI tool called Notebook LLM which can break down your any paragraph, even your university notebooks or textbooks, into a podcast. So that is so helpful. You can listen to an entire audiobook in 1 hour, which can take you 3 months to read. So make sure you're using AI more and more into your jobs and integrating that into your personal life, because it's just going to help you go faster, go far and further away from all the competitors currently who are sitting right beside you. So make sure you're always using all these skills you're developing, you're learning, and touching the sky.
Fantastic. Could you press the microphone over the Dana, just kind of build on this a bit, it's kind of a better question. I suppose how has, your current role at the moment with TFO and also the university, how have they supported you with both your skills and your kind of networking opportunities, and kind of how has they all come together to effectively where you are now?
So basically it's already been explained from Louise, but I would say, let me start from placement year. For me, so I knew I wanted to do placement year, I knew I wanted to get into some sort of workload before I actually graduate, it was a goal for me. So I was like, I'll make sure to get to that stage anyway. Before I actually did maybe my second year of study, I applied for a mentoring scheme that we did, and I did it for the 6 months period, I think it was. And it went from September, or I believe November to April. And my mentor, she basically helped me so much. She gave me skills. I told her what I wanted out there, and what I wanted to do during the interview. I basically was clueless during those interviews. I didn't know, I failed some of the interviews as well. But she gave me a confidence in a way to be this is what you should do, this is what you say, and everything. So it's kind of a stepping stone. But also, in those my first year and second year, there's societies in uni that you go into, and that's where you can build your experiences and skills as well. So you can join, let's say, I joined the Travel Society and I was the marketing committee, so I would do the social media on their side. My main goal was to learn how to build those skills and experience, but also network. You do need different years of different courses. And then in that point, when it came to placement year, I did this interview for this role. I spoke about my marketing committee at this society, and it kind of just boosted, because obviously at the time I didn't have any role. I didn't have a corporate role. I did 1 or 2 internships that were 1 week, 2 week thing that we had to do for that 35-hour thing. So I didn't really have much, so it was whatever the uni offered, I would generally check my emails, whatever Beverly sent to us, whatever Saturday sent to us, and whatever workshops, study was sent to us, I would just apply to myself and you know what, I'm going to go for it. Even if I hated it, even if I didn't like it, it was more a take a risk kind of thing, so I can see what I like and dislike. I was actually so confused. And then placement year came along, for that I applied through LinkedIn and got the role, but I feel it helped me build those skills and build those experiences, so that when it came to explaining and talking interviews, you had more of an idea of what to say and what to talk about. And then obviously final year came around and it was okay, because I had this kind of mentoring scheme in second year, I reapplied for final year for that mentoring scheme, and then they was because it came towards final placement year, I was still confused. Started final year, really confused on what I actually wanted to do, because that placement year gave me an idea, but it gave me an idea of what I liked and disliked. I didn't really know what role I wanted to go into. So I would say so then I did my mentoring scheme and everything. I networked, I went to career fairs and stuff, and I basically just built those skills and whatever Beverly sent through those emails, I was literally on it, looking at it, making sure there's anything missing out. Because teachers get a first point of knowing what's there before the students do. because obviously they're more like in it. So it's more of like checking my email and everything, and just using. I really used Pioneer as like redoing the first year again, just trying out things, trying opportunities, taking risks as mentioned.
And sorry, do you think as what kind of helped you, so all of that you've spoken about, how did you kind of incorporate that into CVs or LinkedIn, and how did that kind of help you?
So I put in my LinkedIn just before I applied for the placement year, what experiences I did. So those committees that I joined as social media manager, as an events team member, so that I could use those skills. And obviously when you're in a society, I'm sure many have been, like you would see in society, they'll create events and stuff, you have to film content and everything. So it's kind of like those skills are like there, but you don't see it. So you're building those skills in a way. So so it's basically just like building that and adding it into my LinkedIn and CV. I had a part-time job as well, but I used that within that. So it's more of those transferable skills that you actually need, and you can always put them, convert them into everything else.
Perfect. Well, so again, how have you kind of used LinkedIn to kind of build your profile, or you're an active user on there, etc.? Can you give us some tips on that and how, what you've done around that as well?
Absolutely. LinkedIn is such a good platform that I created actually, because it gives you connections to almost 1 billion professionals in the entire world, and that's crazy. But also LinkedIn, you have to be very careful on what you post there, because it can actually become your brand on LinkedIn. Currently I have 2,500 followers on LinkedIn, so what I post is mostly my career related stuff or influence marketing stuff which I'm passionate about, or what I'm currently upskilling, like I do some courses on LinkedIn Learning or Masterclass. So those are things which I post about. But you can be very creative on the way you use LinkedIn, because you can start a newsletter on LinkedIn. I follow several newsletters on AI because that's the best way to be up to date on what's going on in the world of AI. There's a new AI tool coming out every single day. So LinkedIn is very good. You can follow several newsletters for that. Apart from that, LinkedIn can also be used to showcase your entire portfolio as well. So you can design a portfolio on Canva, link it directly to LinkedIn. So anyone who comes across your profile wants to know you more deeper, they can directly click on the portfolio link of your LinkedIn and make you, check you out and make sure that you are perfectly aligning with the needs of the company, and that's why they'll hire you. So I get many cold approaches on LinkedIn every single day as well, and I think that's another way to use LinkedIn. You cold approach someone, you ask them for help, or I think that's one of the things which I should have known sooner, is that sometimes it's better to be less needy and be more valuable. So you approach someone to give them help rather than asking them for help. Let's say, Aaron is an entrepreneur, he is a former happy student. So you can approach to Aaron, be like, okay, Aaron, let me make a marketing presentation for you which you can use in your company. Maybe just like Aaron, there are many more entrepreneurs on LinkedIn in London who would be very happy to give you a marketing position as an intern in their companies, because you're approaching them with value rather than being this needy person who can, okay, give me a job, give me something. Like that's, I would say that's something you should reverse engineer and make sure that you're approaching it in a different way, because this will actually help your career and make you a lot more competitive and make you stand out from other people. So that's how I would say approach, LinkedIn. Make sure you put the name person randomly there. Make sure you cold approaching new people every single week, and also make sure you're posting and bragging about all your achievements.
Perfect, thank you. Actually, over as well, how have you used LinkedIn? You mentioned networking has been really important. Have you leveraged and utilised LinkedIn as part of that networking?
Yes, but I hate social media. I mean, just for me personally,
I'm the
I
same.
hate being online. So when I first graduated, I had 20 connections on LinkedIn. One of them was my mum. So my LinkedIn was not thriving, and that is not a good look. Especially now we're in the digital age, and especially if you're in marketing. Every single job that I've applied to, the hiring manager and the director of the marketing department has looked at my LinkedIn. And you can tell because they tell you when they're looking at your page. And it was a job I think I didn't get because I didn't have third-party validation. When you're a marketing, or you're applying for marketing, they're going to be very disappointed that you don't know how to market yourself.
100%.
So I really worked on it, and I was really audacious. I only sent connections to people 2 or 3 levels above me at companies that I wanted to work at. And because I had some volunteer experience in music companies, and that was interesting for them, they added me back. So now I have a very concentrated music marketing network. So I'd also say that, as much as I probably shouldn't, be picky with who you connect with, because it does affect your algorithm and where your post gets pushed out to. And also, it's kind of like your living resume. So if you do something today, post about it on LinkedIn tomorrow. LinkedIn is kind of, how on TikTok, the best way to get on the algorithm for TikTok is to post 5 times a day. LinkedIn is once a day, or minimum twice a week. So even you don't have to post a picture on there or anything. You can just post some advice or something you learned that week at university or something that interested you. Be a person still, it's still social media. But that's how you're gonna get yourself at the top of people's feeds. And the more people see your profile picture and your name, the next time an opportunity comes up, they might think, hey, wait, I know that person or that grad. They seem really interested in marketing, or they seem like they know what they're talking about, and then they might offer you the opportunity. So, yeah, I think it's really important. LinkedIn is really important.
Very important. Yeah.
But having said I hate the digital age, I like to close to 100 networking events. And not just the random ones that's for everybody. I found the ones that spoke to my niche. And I was audacious with the people who were speaking at the panels at these things. I brought a stack of my resumes and a red pen. And I would start a conversation with them as, I love your career, I want to be you, here's my resume, how do I make that happen? And I think that it's usually you're insane. But I've never had a no, because it's really rare for young people to have the confidence to just ask for what they want. So I really recommend it. You'd be surprised how much people who are where you want to be want to help you. They just want you to ask.
I think that's completely right. I was at a networking event with a couple of weeks ago for students, etc. And so the feedback was they just want students to be confident and come and ask. And also things like, if you're given an opportunity, email them, LinkedIn message them that day straight away after you've been with them, because they want you to show that you're willing and you're forward thinking and you're proactive rather than you can't wait for the opportunity to come to you. And I think that's the skills you were talking about. That would be very important.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And what I said earlier about learn how to small talk, these are still people, and they're giving time outside of their 9 to 5s to come and speak to you about their careers. So when you go and approach them, ask them how their day's been, ask them how they're doing, what do they like about their job. It's very jarring to walk up to a person who's working outside of their work hours and be like, I'm on LinkedIn. Because I've had it happen to me, and it is not nice, and it immediately makes them think, you just want something from me, you're not interested in me or my career as an individual, and it's not the best way to put it forward. So I think this is advice, but if you want to come and chat to me later,
Don't come
ask
away,
me what my favourite song is, and
give
we'll
me
be
a
on
job.
some great stuff.
No, totally.
But I get people now that I've gotten to a place where I think people want the job that I have, some people. I get people reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I do respond, and I actually have a template of all the things that I've learned from my time looking for a job and being in a job that I send out via email, and the ones that follow up with me, I go out and we get coffee together, because you don't know when that person might be your boss.
100%. 100%.
So also never underestimate people around your own level. Because they might not be anybody now, but in a year, when they're interning at your favourite company, if you don't have a good rapport with them, you're not going to be able to reach out and ask for a favour.
They might also mention that, I don't know about this person as well, because people do.
Exactly.
That's a good advice.
Yeah. Don't just network this way, also network.
Yeah, or every way,
Exactly.
all the way through, because you just never know.
Exactly.
100% great advice. I'm conscious that we're getting into that time of Q&As. I think just before I get into Q&As, I just want to have a quick think about 3 very concise, quick things that you could give as advice for our students navigating their careers. I think we've spoken probably about most of it. If you can't think of 3, 1 key thing, or 2 will be absolutely fine. And as you're closest to me, I'm sorry, I'm going to throw you under the bus to and ask you to be the first person to kind of just give us 1, 2 bits that you think are great advice for students navigating their career. Very concise and succinct.
Concise. She's not my first language, so it's very hard. Be curious
Nice.
and passionate. That's the first thing. And then the second thing, I think when at university, I mean, I listen to my friends here as well, and you know, we hire people, we work with students or immediate graduates because Happy Student is an app created by students for students. So what we look at really here is that how engaged they are with their school, with their university, and it's not all about experience. It's about how well educated students are, and that comes from being curious, asking questions, and being good in their perspective. And we don't really ask for them to be perfect. We are happy to grow together and learn from each other. So,
Perfect.
but yeah, the first one is the most important one. Curious and passionate are the only thing for us that we look for. And I think that's what we should have as well if you want to get to where you want to get.
Perfect. Thank you.
I don't know if this is good advice, but this is what I did. Jump, even without a safety net. You're at a time where any mistakes that you make, the consequences are not going to be lifelong. If you want to start a business, just start. Stop planning it, just do it. You'll learn on the job. And also, talk all the time to everyone. Like, you just don't know what will come out of those conversations, whether you learn something or you build a connection or you learn about something, a company or something that you didn't know about before. And also just be confident, believe that you're already where you want to be, act like you're already where you want to be, because people can tell when you don't believe in yourself and they won't believe in you. So just know that you're going to get there eventually, and that's how you should move in the world and in those spaces. And people much higher up than you will respect you from the jump if they can see that you believe in yourself, even though you don't have a lot of experience under your belt, and your opinion will be trusted in those rooms.
Perfect, thank you. Just before I go on to Raghav and Diana, could you have a think about any questions that you want to ask? We've also got this QR code behind us as well. If you want to do that, if you're not comfortable putting your hand up, if you want to ask some questions, so please feel free to do the QR code and just type something in there. We'll have a look and Raghav, would you like to continue on that?
Yes.
Before we start,
So my 3 recommendations would be, firstly, be a yes person. Just be saying yes to almost every opportunity, everything which falls into your email, into your inbox, into your, if your friend wants to go to networking event in London, just say yes and just go, because that's kind of a thing which will push you in order to come out of your comfort zone even more. And I think pretty much Arun and Noah have highlighted everything else which I wanted to say, but I will also say that find a coach or mentor or peer group. So you need like-minded people around you all the time, because it's a lonely journey, it's a lonely pace. You never know when you fall out. So you need accountability partners in order to keep you accountable, in order to put you back in the game, which we all play every single day. So make sure that you have accountability partners, you have a coach, you have a mentor who you can look up to, who you can ask questions. Professors can be great coaches. That's fantastic that I've been in contact with Nick for the past 3 years, and just ask him, just even about any networking opportunity, anything which is coming up, anywhere you can find anything just try to make sure that you're giving your valuable comments and you're actually becoming an interesting person in order to, be there and make sure that you make the most of your opportunities every single day, because life is very short. It's going to be past the entire 3-year university journey just went by like that. So make sure that you're making the most of everything while you're living this, amazing journey of being part of being a student. So, and the final recommendation would be, you're living in a tier 1 city, which is London. So whenever you're in a tier 1 city like London, Dubai, Hong Kong, New York, make sure that you're making most of the city, because there's so much happening in the city. There's an app called Eventbrite, and there's an app called Meetup, and there's an app called Luma. So 3 apps, these are 3 networking event apps. Take a note of this, download them on your iPhone, Android, anywhere, and make sure you're signing up to the networking events and going outside, just not in the university. There are several networking events happening in LSE, King's College, everywhere. So make sure you make those, make most of those as well.
Final plan.
A bit after me now because I've already said the tips and tricks. I would say, just to sum up what everyone basically said, is say yes to opportunities. So yeah, just say yes to opportunities. Whatever comes to you. Basically, this can be, because you're at uni right now, I believe you are second year students. Whatever gets sent to you through email, I know emails go fly by and you don't look at them. But I'd say whatever gets sent to you through email, have a look carefully. I know Beverly always sends stuff through email. So I would say always check emails. With that is build your transferable skills, because with transferable skills, you can use it in interviews, you can use it as a skill personally and professionally. So it's not like you need to do it because you need to succeed in the interview. You might have something in a future life event or anything that come up to you and you will use that skill there. Even if you ever thought of creating a business, you might use that skill there as well. So it's really just building transferable skills, and I would definitely say yes to any opportunities that come to you. Obviously, know your limits to what you can and can't do, but saying yes basically will bring you a different side. So you might think, oh, I want to do marketing when I graduate, but you end up saying yes to something in data, for example, and you end up liking that. So that could be something. I have a thing where I will say yes, and if I tried it, didn't like it, at least I don't regret it. I can not always think down the line, a week or 2 weeks, and be like, oh, I regretted this, at least I tried it. And that's where you know what you like and dislike in a way, so yeah.
Thank you, Diane. I'm actually going to stay with you because we've now got some questions coming through. So, well, the first one's whilst you've got the microphone, it seems yes. It seems apt for me to ask you this one. So, thank you for all the questions so far, some great questions. I also got a chance to get hand as well. So, somebody's asked, I want to take a placement year, but I'm not exactly sure what steps I need to take. What advice can you give?
If you're in your second year right now, you're not too late. Placement years, like stuff for interview development are out right now. I believe TFL is also just put live their jobs as well, so I'd say you should check on their website. But prior to checking on the website, I would say build you as a person first. Kind of list out things, what you want, what you don't like, and what you're looking for, but don't intense that list. Be a little open, try out things. There are communities and societies, there's stuff that gets sent to you email. Try things as much as you can. Before, when it comes to applying for a placement year, you're awful because there's so many interviews, how to present yourself. I believe there's courses and stuff that you can present yourself and learn. If not, you can always present yourself in front of friends, in front of teachers, do presentations, so you can build that presentation skill, because to be honest, the first step is usually it's a video interview. and that is where you have to present yourself and speak within under 2 minutes of one question. So it's more of how can you handle everything in one question. Use the STAR method, it's the best method. They always say start with I, so I did this instead of we did this. Just because they want to know what you did, they don't really care what the team did, is what your contribute was in that process. So always refer you into any situation. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Great. And obviously we have placement opportunities through the university portal as well. There's lots there. Through Zone 29 and also now got UBS Community LinkedIn page as well. So it goes really up there. There's a question about internships as well as placements. You guys do any internships or anything abroad at all?
Go ahead.
No, please.
No, please. Oh, I see.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. So I did an internship in Chiang Mai, Thailand. That was my Think Pacific, and they are an affiliate partner of University of Westminster. So if you'd like to sign up to the Global Team Internship, they have several spots in Fiji, Thailand, and Bali. So you can sign up to those. They are mostly just if you can pay for the program and you do one interview, you can get selected for it, and it can be a stepping stone into getting actual internships if you want to do something in London or everywhere else in UK. Career Zone, which is a fantastic platform, which was engaged by a student of Now's Career Zone. It has several internships of many companies. I almost got onto the last stage of placement here of this company called Microsoft. I did not end up getting that internship, but that's okay. But I was in the last position, so definitely use Career Zone. Also LinkedIn. So make sure that if you're using LinkedIn, you are filtering out something which has been posted in the past 24 hours, rather than going for something which was posted 1 month ago and the company has already hired someone and they're still posting a job offer in order to impress the shareholders. That happens a lot. So make sure that you're finding something in the past 24 hours or something which has been latest been posted by an actual job website rather than some fake website which is probably not even affiliated with the company. So those are the things just be making sure that you're applying to the right platform, you're applying you're also reaching out to the recruiter right after applying to the job, and standing out in terms of having a portfolio, having a video resume, having like a physical resume as well.
Okay. I've got anything especially from an employee perspective.
This is not helpful to you guys at all, because my internship wasn't like a real internship. I was recording music at this very nasty music studio in downtown Toronto, like the type where people smoke indoors. And I was like, I could work here. They need help, clearly. So I asked the studio manager. I was like, I will work for you for free if you give me a really good reference and you introduce me to all these people. So that's how I got my internship. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like an opportunity where you're getting paid. Unfortunately, if you're going into music, a lot of the opportunities are unpaid, but just see if it's going to be worth it with the connections that you make and the projects that you get involved with. So if you don't have a portfolio yet, it's really easy to build one within 3 months of volunteering somewhere as an intern.
Fantastic, thank you. Just outside that, was there any pros and cons around all that? Was there any cons to, I suppose you mentioned a few of those, but not getting paid. And getting right. But do you think that, I mean, it's hard, isn't it? If you don't have the opportunity to do it for free, it's quite difficult, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, I would say, I'm not diminishing that at all. I was in a very privileged position. Obviously, I was on a year abroad, so I was getting a student loan, and the pound to Canadian dollar conversion is double.
Wow.
So I was able to work for free. I had a weekend job at the gallery, so I was doing a bunch of things at the same time. And yeah, I would say it's a privilege to be able to work for free, especially in London. But actually, if there's any ladies in the room that are looking into creative industries, sorry Jess, this is just for ladies, there is something called the Cat's Mother Network. And they offer free mentoring sessions with a high-up exec in the creative industries, one-on-one. You get to sit down with them. give them a list of questions. They work in incredible places like Universal Music, Sony Music, publishing centres, United Talent Agency. It's something I really recommend. It's something that I did, and it led me the right way. It didn't lead to a job opportunity, but I just had to stick that in there before I left.
No, awesome. All right, I'm going to give this one to you actually. Just what advice would you give somebody who's currently building a business while studying at uni?
Yeah. Okay, what I did was, so for my coursework, I would try to pick a subject that would help me build, gather more research about what Happy Students was all about. So for some of the courses, we had the freedom to pick, subjects that we would have to write our paper on. And I remember I would pick a subject about how adaptable students are when they move into a new place, and then there were so many papers out there that I could read. And so that really helped me to understand the scope of need for Happy Student, but also, that's the one thing, that's just one little thing you can do while studying. And then obviously there is We Network, and there are your professors, you could go to them, and then I had, what do we call, like, when you have someone that you could ask for advice?
Mentor.
No, other than professors, and obviously
Yeah.
your professors as well. Yeah, personal tutor.
Yeah,
So-
that's what you'd
Yeah, so
Thank you.
is it still going on? Is it still, I'm sure every student has a personal
Yes, but
tutor.
we usually don't see them, they don't show up.
There's personal tutors.
Your personal tutors.
Oh wow,
Now,
yeah.
we make them every week almost. Hello, I'm your personal tutor.
Personal tutor is such a privilege.
Thank you so
Yeah.
And that's how my whole journey started. So I went to my personal tutor and I said, look, I have this, it was not easy for me to adapt, and I hear from a lot of friends, and their parents would call me, ask for help, because their daughter or son is ill and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so then I went to this tutor, my tutor, personal tutor, and I told him about what I was thinking of this, and he recommended that I apply for Students as Co-Creators to do further research on this issue. And I'm really glad that I used everything that were out there at the university to build this product, and they were all very helpful. So
And I think that's a good point actually. as
because
well.
they keep changing names too, I'm sorry, like,
Yeah.
Students as Co-Creators is probably something else
I
right
think
now.
if you do research with lecturers, PhDs, and undergraduate students as researchers.
Students as researchers?
Yes.
So then it was for
Because we
students as
just started a
co-creators.
new project about it.
Okay.
Maybe with 3 lecturers, 2 PhD students,
That-
and 15 undergraduate students.
Wow, that's what, then it was 6. And we were very happy to be selected because it was
Yeah.
kind of a competition too. So
I have some great advice. I think there are, as you said, there's lots of like your module leaders or seminar leaders, etc. give you, I think it's got a lot of contacts a lot of the time as well.
yeah,
And so there's so many people and so many resources here. I think the key thing is as you say, while you're at university, it's not just about getting your education, that's kind of half of it. It's the networking and the opportunities you get.
yeah,
It's about, if you're not going to be in academia, which most of you probably want to be in a career, then this is the place to start building your career and providing opportunities for yourself.
yes. I mean, I think this is the case for everything. I think universities have really great power and resources
Yeah, so,
to provide their students with. And so say if you're an artist, they will provide you with a space that you can showcase your art and invite some curators come and see your art, maybe acquire it, or maybe even some galleries that will come and pick your art, for instance. And that is also the same for us as well. So when I won the Big Idea competition, they brought some important investors who then came to me and told me that they wanted to invest. But then, so they do have that sort of power, and they keep getting better and better with their services, which is really great. So universities are really, in my opinion, it's like one of the most powerful tools you could leverage to build your business.
100%, and your career as well. Excellent. Now, another question for you, just a little bit about what your job actually consists of as well. So just give me kind of like a day-to-day, like what is your role, what do you kind of do fundamentally in your role with TFL?
Yeah, so I work as project and program. It's a 2-year grad scheme, so each placement was for 6 months. Currently on my project management placement, so I work on the Elizabeth line, the maintenance section. So we make sure that it is running every day, but also there's no issues going on and any new ideas we can implement. So every day is a different day. We have meetings that goes on discussing any changes, what is next to do, what we need to chase and what not. Within the project management, even within TFL itself, there's like a committee kind of section, just like uni, there's committees there where all the grads, apprentices, interns come together, we like share experiences, but also we create events that we all kind of build up with, go to site visits, see the underground, see the, so recently I went to a solar town tunnel and we saw it's based in North Greenwich. We basically saw how it started, how it was constructed, and the end part. A project is start with an end, but within projects, I realised because I did a module in uni, I thought that was kind of something I wanted to go into. With projects, you don't really see the end goal because it's an ongoing project. So basically, with what I do is we always make sure to maintain the Elizabeth line and make sure that you get to, there's no issues, so you don't really have delays on trains and gauges, or we create new things for it, or anything like that. So pretty much every day is a different day. I can give you today's kind of schedule or yesterday's, but it's more meetings, and you're just talking about like changes and everything. So yeah, it's kind of a lot different. You have the sites where you're not just going to work, they want you to learn and they want you to use the grad schemes well. It's kind of like a team in a way, so you have committees and societies, but the TFL version. So yeah, so there's just a lot of learning, training, internal training that you can join other teams who are shadow as well. So yeah.
Fantastic. I'll just ask one more question before we finish producing networking. Just one bit of advice for yourself, if you want to start your own business, kind of like, what is the one key bit of advice you would give around starting your own business?
Everything takes time. So you don't have, nothing really happens. I remember nothing really happens in a day, especially when you're building something. And that's for anything. Everything takes time. Just know that, and be persistent and believe in what you're building, and everything is going to work well in the end. Because you'll be surprised to know how supportive everyone could be, everyone around you. That includes the university ecosystem. So just get any help that you need, and be passionate. Like even building a website, minimum would take 3 months. You want to build something nice, I guess, maybe 4 months. Or in our case, building Happy Student and bringing it to a level where I wanted to be from day one took me 5 years. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I came up with the idea while I was a student here, and I didn't have resources to make things happen instantly. I'm not coming from that kind of background, so I don't come from that kind of background. So I had little bit of funds and resources to make things happen, and I couldn't make. I'm glad that I didn't do it from day one because I don't think it would have been as good as it is now. Because I learned a lot along the way, and now with the team we work with. I learn new things every day from them, for marketing, for design, for development, and I just think that that's very valuable. You know? At the end of the day, even if it's not going to succeed, and that's not the case for us, never been. But even if I told myself, even if it's not going to work, then I have the know-how.
Then you still learn something from it anyway, and build into your next business or your next job or whatever it is, you'll learn the way up.
Yes, and that's very valuable. The knowledge. So
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the Q&A, but not the end of the session. We'll have about 20-minute window for you to network in this room at least until the next lot of people come in. Could you do us a favour and please can you complete feedback for us about this event? It really helps. And you could win for £20 Amazon voucher. And finally, I would like to say thank you once again to our panel for attending. Amazing people all around.